Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our 82nd episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition, Leech War, Fall of the Sacred Stone. I'm gonna go around and let my players introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Geta Fenris.
I'm Tyler, and I play Kyle, also known as Guards the Low. He's a Philodox of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a Thurge of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm George. I'm playing Roy Mindscape. He is a Ragabosh with the Stargazers.
Hello, my name's Thomas. I play Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Hi, I'm Sean. I play Zeb Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He is a Thurge of the Silent Striders.
Last time, after receiving the punishment right for spreading misinformation among the Garu, the packs divided now must survive in a hostile sept or a hostile city, as they are still at war with the Leeches, while Malcolm and his army of older brother have now entered the Sacred Stone. It's the next day, and Kyle, you are approached by the Arcadian Watcher as she looks around, giving glares and sniffs at the various members of older brother who are now all over this cairn.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Kyle?
As well as could be expected, I think, given this week.
I can understand that as she leans in. Wyrm-Herder seems to trust you. I have something for you to protect the Karen's interests.
Okay, well, hit me with it.
She spends a point of willpower, and you both enter a spiritual realm within your minds so that you may speak mentally. She goes, Graham Wildspeaker is still out in the woods with our cubs, and the rest of these Uktena don't know about them. I fear that they could try and take them from us regardless of how things happen. Malcolm seems to trust you, and he seems to enjoy your presence. Could you try and say that you're leaving the cairn for a bit to clear your mind, to reach Graham, and tell him not to come back to the Sept grounds, at least not yet?
Okay, yes. I suppose I can't think of anything better as an excuse, so yeah, I'll do that today. I had planned to speak with him later anyway, so
now's a good time idea. Then. Yes. Thank you. As the mists disappear and you see that you're just standing out in the open again.
We'll catch up soon, and let me know if there's anything I can do.
Of course. Thank you, Kyle. We have to stick together during this, as she looks around, transitional period.
Of course.
Meanwhile, in the city, as the night passes, the cardboard has kept you all warm as the gutter crawlers start to move out of their boxes as well, stretching. Oh, Gaia. Cold always crackles the bones. Don't know how y'all can do it.
Just used to it, I guess.
Guess so. Hard as some bitches.
Generally. Though I'd prefer sleeping out in the forest to sleeping on the concrete.
Yeah, I suppose. I just prefer it being a little warmer. That's all. So, that was interesting what you were saying about the Bone Gnawers down south being taken care of and taken out by the worm. But who did you say your elders were again? Who sent you?
At that time, it was Final Days.
Final Days, okay. You said at that time. Does that mean you have different elders now?
We're going through a political change at the moment.
Political change, you say?
Yeah. Our elders thought that as Final Days is a child of Gaia, and he touts the idea of all one Garu, he thought the idea of a council would be beneficial.
I see. And who's on this council then? In case we accidentally cross over while we continue to make our way west.
Cora, and I'll toss my tongue at her. You should probably hold on to that for me now.
As fuck around and finds out, goes, well, that's gross. Whatever. We'll just try and call out final days. That's not going to provoke an incident, right? If we go west and we just say that he's the elder? We are the Omega tribe. We don't want no one to beat us over the head. Bone Gnars tend to be open season, and I don't like to pick a fight unless I have to. No point expending energy that you need to survive, or with the worm out there.
Yes, it would. I would just ask for one of the elders.
No names?
One of the council, probably, yeah.
Alright. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Guess last question, before we leave, since I like to see him. You, Dimitri, you're kin to us. There any other kin that kin to us I should know about? Servants of Rat are always fine folks.
Indeed they are. I know there's a few that live in the city. I'm not sure if Barry is around because he's usually on the road, but I know Veronica is probably around one of the homeless shelters.
Alright. And any others of our tribe? Not just kin. I was talking about changers too.
There's also Steven, but I don't know if he's in the city right now.
Steven? Good name. What's this Steven look like?
He's albino.
Oh, he's one of the mules then. Poor fella. Being around a bunch of other tribes gotta be hard on him. Most of them are rough and tumble on them as he looks at the rest of you. No offense meant.
I'm sure.
Perfect. Well, I thank you kindly. I suppose we should hit that dusty trail. Hides and walls, you think we good? Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, you all be safe. May Gaia watch your step, and may Rat help you while you're cornered.
Same to you. May Unicorn guide your steps.
Thank you.
May Gaia see you.
As they start heading out for the morning, and probably for the rest of the time as they start to move on like they do, Garu in transit.
Well, that was a nice surprise. It's nice to know that there's some of us even out here.
Surprise, yes. I don't know about nice, though. But it is good to see others.
Well, if we're gonna do something other than just survive for a month, maybe we should figure out a way to redeem ourselves to the Sept.
I can think of a couple. We can follow up on Carson. We can follow up on the vampires. Dimitri and I took care of Kirby last night. Mostly Dimitri.
Well, that's stuff that's too connected to the cairn right now, as in there are other Garu and kin that are dealing with that same exact stuff. I'm a bit more concerned about the spiritual aspect of things. I'm concerned for the spirit's well-being in the cairn and the Sept. This turmoil is bringing the Garu to such bear. I can only imagine what the spirits are, and I feel we need to start investigating that.
Mark, it'll take about 2 days to get to where you want to go. And so we'll switch real quick to Kyle as you approach Wyrm-Herder.
Good morning, Malcolm.
Morning, Kyle. How are you?
As good as could be expected. I thought, if you had the time, we could spend some more of it talking.
Malcolm looks around. I got time. What do you need?
Well, I just thought I'd take another crack at talking to you about the Sept. Now that I've had some time to, process. You be willing for that?
Ask away.
This could easily be an Uktena Sept again. I have no doubt about it. You brought enough warriors to take the Sept by force, and even if it did come to combat, I doubt everyone here would stand against you. Even were Final Days and Howling King here. You could root out the corruption and build it into a strong bastion for your people. And since you've said you'd allow the others who live here to stay, there's no doubt in my mind that you and Fate Dancer can accomplish this. But I do truly believe that there is another, even better option, that you could help this Sept as it is. The Uktena have more power here now than they have since it was first taken from them. The Sept can still be a bastion for your people, the corruption can still be wiped away, and the Sept can stand strong, not just as a home for the Uktena, but a place of hope and power for the nation, with the Uktena holding one of the most important seats. Regardless of your feelings towards Final Days, you've spent your life traveling. You know that the nation needs a central, powerful connection between the East and West. And how many Septs in a position like this do the Uktena hold any representation, let alone power? If you took this place, the warriors you brought would need to stay to hold it. So have them stay anyway. A third of the council seats and 50% of the population, more, stipulate that it must be older brother who holds keeper of the land. And between your numbers and that position, you ensure the Uktena keep power and that the Cairn is spiritually healthy. It's everything you want and more.
What gets me the wrong way is, well, one, it would have been a lot easier if Howling King and Final Days were here. It would have made things a lot simpler, a lot quicker. It's not my intention to fight amongst ourselves for the purpose of weakening ourselves. I just don't see Fate Dancer's part of the council as fair representation. She's one among a few, one among many who are not inclined to give us our way.
I understand. And I feel that concern. But I suppose the question that remains to be asked, what would you expect to change under fully Uktena leadership? Because now the rites no longer have to be performed in public. And with the keeper of the land position, you could ensure that those rites are as private as could possibly be expected in any cairn with more than one tribe.
I mean to heal this cairn. It's performing the rites out of the watchful eye of our overlords is not good enough. Still being minded by worm-comers, it's not what I'm seeking to do. I'm seeking to pull the clave out of our backs. Gather the Bones was alone performing a rite in Texas and was put to death. I'm not going to let anything like that happen here. We'll be able to perform our rites if we're in charge, just as well as if we weren't. Better even. And we won't have a situation where Final Days can push Fate Dancer off the council and we'll get no say at all, taking away what little we're given. I'm here to plant a real stake, grow roots, once again heal the earth, heal Gaia. And without bloodshed, well, the only two I view as responsible aren't here. So the Cairn's at double strength, which is fine. If some Garu decide this is untenable, they can move off. We'll be better for it in the end.
Well, you're right in that you'd succeed. I said as much before.
You did. That's wise.
I
think it's gone too far, Kyle. What upsets me now is that there's no resolution to this until I take the Sept. It's been an anticlimactic takeover, with no one to pay the price. Likely petition Fate Dancer at day's end, get the honorable surrender.
I haven't spoken to her about her thoughts on what's happened. And I know that she was furious about what happened in Texas. And everything I know is but from a rumor. But I was under the impression that that happened at an Uktena Sept. And it was a wandering Garu and their pack who put them to death?
My understanding that it happened at a Black Fury Sept. But again, I only know rumor as well.
Yeah, I was under the impression that it was the elder Uktena that was put to death for performing the rites of their cairn.
That'll be next on my list after we settle this. You have the day if you want to talk to Fate Dancer.
Yeah, I'll talk to Fate Dancer and then I think, well, I suppose I don't really know what the rules are right now, but I'd like to take a walk around the bond, perhaps outside of it.
You need not ask leave of me.
Thank you. And thank you for hearing me out.
I know your heart's in the right place, Guards Lilo. There are just some things that can't be settled. Not in that way. Malcolm pats his chest and pats your shoulder.
I hope you're wrong.
Gaia be with you.
And so, back in the city, Cora, Dimitri, you found a nice little nook in the city where you two can speak freely.
Cora, I know what you're going to say, but I will say first, me and Roy went out and took care of that vampire. It's dead.
Killing that leech now is better than not killing it at all. But it is just cleaning up a mess that we wouldn't have had to deal with had it been taken care of while we were at that trafficking site. Killing the leech should have been the first step. And if it wasn't bad enough that we didn't do that first, you added insult to injury by giving your own life force to strengthen a worm creature. So good job, I guess. Killing it now.
Back then, I did what I felt was best in the moment to save Veronica.
Strengthening our enemies is not the best way to strengthen ourselves. We hunt them down. We kill them. That is part of our litany. That is part of our law. Wherever it dwells, wherever it breathes.
It was there.
And it was only my foolishness that allowed it to happen in the first place. Sure, it was there for the same reason. I don't give a fuck. Wherever it dwells, wherever it breathes.
And what if it was
That's the law. Then I kill every last bit of worm to get to her. They all die. We soak the ground with their blood so much that it pools. There is no other option. Least of all, feeding them with our own blood, spilling our blood for the worm, for leeches.
Then I pray to Gaia that you never have to make that choice that I did if it ever comes, because you don't know what it's like to live in the city, to live with the homeless, to have to sleep in the filth that others drop on my tribe and my kin. You don't know the sacrifices we have to make in order to survive in this city. But I am glad that you are of one heart and something, Cora Two-Hearts.
I'm glad too, because that means my tribe didn't allow themselves to be shit on by everyone else. And I will not be put in that same position because I will know what the right from wrong and what exactly I will need to do in that situation.
Well, Cora, with the D name of Two-Hearts, I was under the impression that one of them had compassion. Compassion for those that cannot defend themselves. Compassion for the humans that have to live in the filth from day to day. Just compassion for humanity. But the problem is dealt with. I killed Kirby, and I will kill more if need be.
The need is always there.
So, Kyle, you were able to go off and speak with Graham before returning to the Cairn grounds. 2 days have passed. Roy, you're making a last-minute trip with a few dollars that you were able to scrounge up on the streets to make some money when you see something in the window, translucent and staring at you.
I'll go ahead and approach the window, peering in to see if there's anything on the other side.
As you peer, there's nothing on the other side, but the face is familiar. It's been years. The last time you saw them, there was so much blood and screaming. It was before you knew the second breath, the multiple shapes. As you see the ghost of one of your family members, old family, hanging on the window, mouthing, Roy, Roy, Roy.
Then I'm going to take a look around, see if there's anybody there. If not, immediately step sideways.
Okay. It is difficulty 8 because you're in the city.
Okay.
No.
Not a botch.
But as you try and step sideways, the ghost starts moving across the mirror and starts motioning for you. Its mouth lipping, Roy, come.
Just follow the ghost then.
Okay. So you start following the ghost as it moves through downtown. You move almost like you're in a daze as you have to keep an eye on it as it moves and shimmers from window to window. It gets to the window of a bookstore called Impoverished Dicks as it starts motioning you inside.
Walking through the door.
You walk into the door, it's full. There's a cafe on the other side of the wall. There are books everywhere as you see her face in a mirror drawing you further back into the bookstore.
Continue to just enter into the bookstore in that daze-like trance.
You finally get close to the back. There's still tons of people around. It's busy. It's getting close to the holiday season. So, of course, this place is packed. Her face disappears, and you feel a hand go on your shoulder, and darkly the voice goes, "Shut-tut-tut, My friend, you don't want to change here. There's too many people, even your kind, hold to the masquerade, I'm sure. As Nicholas is standing right there, his eyes gleaming. It took a while, a few private investigators, but it's nice to finally figure some things out about you. Roy, did you kill her as well?
I did. Pains me to say.
You've cost me much, Roy. I offered you a truce. I offered all of you Lupins a truce. And all I did was a simple retaliation to your friend's opening volley. I want you to know, I took no pleasure in it. I never took pleasure in death when I was forced to kill.
You don't take pleasure in death, but we all do what we must.
Oh yes, I agree. I've walked this earth for nearly 4 centuries now. I've killed for king and country. I've lost control, and I've murdered. Something I can see that you can relate to. Yet, even with all this time that I've wandered, I'm certain you've murdered more than I have in your short, insignificant lifetime.
This lifetime, my priors, and the ones coming forward. It's just a cycle, and you must be tired.
Not as tired as I thought. I'm tired of the killing, but it seems that I cannot escape that. Not with you here now. I have seen zealotry, Roy. While I was too young and did not exist during the times of the fires of the Inquisition, I have seen sects devolve into zealotry and self-righteousness. I have watched them scuttle over this earth like rats. And that's how I know that your sect, whatever you wish to call yourself, is also just self-righteous, full of zealotry, and an eye for murder.
You may be right about half of those things. Most Garu do tend to have a eye for murder and the taste for blood, but that comes from Gaia. It's a gift and a curse, one that we live with every day, but we try our best to keep it in check. I don't know about you, but your gift is more of a curse than anything. You don't pass to the next life to provide life to the next. You're just merely here at this time now. And it's taking me a while to learn this. And it's taking me a lot longer to finally come to terms with it. But I understand now that you had your time here. Let it be time for somebody else.
You feel him place his hand gently on your throat. You feel the pricking of claws on his hands as he leans in. There is a mixture of sadness and a sneer, the grimness on his face palpable as everything seems to rot and wither with his stare. As he whispers slowly, as no one still seems to pay attention, and he simply says, I want you to know I take no pleasure in this, but the message must be sent. Roy, you are a monster, and it is now time that I remind you of that fact. As he grips and he rips at your throat. You may try and dodge at an athletics difficulty 9 since his hand is already there.
And I'm not going to spend a willpower, fuck it.
As he grabs, he rips, so he has 3 rollover. He is going to spend 5, or no, yeah, 5, he can do that. 5 points of blood to convert those into automatic successes.
Jesus Christ.
1, you are unable to soak because you are in Hamid form. As he does 9 points of damage, and he rips your throat out and throws it. Please spend a point of rage and roll rage diff 8. So you heal 1 point of aggravated damage as he spends more blood and turns himself into mist while you turn into Krynos as people scream in the store and their screams draw your ire. You rush them in Krynos and ravage the bookstore and ravage the innocents, bursting through the bookstore, bursting through the cafe, and rending human souls left and right that night. It's several hours later. You're several blocks away in a back alley. Your body's covered in blood and your mouth is filled with the taste of copper. Though luckily, it seems that you swallowed nothing. Heavy scarring upon your throat as you find it a bit more difficult to talk.
I'm going to spend another point of rage to activate city running.
Okay.
And run as fast as I can back to the cardboard palace that we had.
Okay.
If it's still there.
It lasts for the night, so I'm assuming you and the rest of everyone have a designated meetup spot.
Okay, then yeah, I would go to the designated meetup spot and just wait in a out-of-the-way location close to it, basically hiding because I can't find any place that would shower me off of this blood, spitting every single chance I can to get the taste of copper out of my mouth.
Meanwhile, in the woods, Mark, you have entered the Umbra. The moon is high, the light glows, the shimmering lights of moon paths, the laughter of loons circle about as rays of light dance and twirl upon pine needles all the way down before bouncing back into the heavens to swing and dance and laugh and play with stars before colliding back down into the earth to somersault their joy in the musical magnificence of the night.
Wonderful. I'm going to cast Spirit Friend.
Okay.
Alrighty, so I'm going to spend a point of Gnosis, and I make a Charisma Empathy roll, and then whatever successes I get is an additional die to any interaction with spirits in this scene.
Okay.
Nice.
So you get 3 extra successes.
Alrighty, nice. Not 3 extra. Yeah, 3 extra.
Or 3 extra dice, yeah. 3 extra dice.
Awesome. 3 extra dice. Alright. So, what I want to do is follow up on information that Mark remembers from Brendan's character. And it's a river spirit that he always did this seasonal dance to, and with winter pretty much just starting, Mark wants to find like a nice, what he would guess might be a source of water for the cairn in Sept, and try to summon a spirit that he could talk to.
Okay. Wits Rituals at plus 3 dice, and should be diff 5 because you're probably going for a jaggling.
Okay.
The spirit begins to pool out of the earth and form. The spirit is running water as ice crystals form and slush around within it.
Friend, why do you call?
Mark will lift up his hand and give the glyph for Garu and go, yes, I am friend. I am Garu. I am here to ask some questions if you have some time.
We have some time, but please hurry. The crystals grow and they grow painful. I hide beneath the earth to warm me.
Of course. Just one simple question. Does this river go to a Garu cairn in Sept? Does its path flow in that direction, perhaps even into its grounds?
Yes.
Thank you, Spirit. That is enough. Return back to the earth so that you may warm. And I'll put back my hand and let it, run down my arm.
As it begins to move down, it goes,
Tell older brother that the bindings weaken, that they must perform their rites soon, lest the purpose of the cairn's strength fail.
This is more information that I needed. Thank you again, Spirit. And I'll give him a little bit of Gnosis. Thank you again for this gift.
As it pools back into the earth and vanishes.
All right. Mark is now gonna follow this river to, its main source, I guess, pretty much.
Okay. As you get close to the reservoir?
Okay. Is there anything odd about the reservoir? Like anything that's...
It's frozen over. It's, of course, got strands of weaver silk around it, as it is a man-made reservoir, not a naturally occurring lake.
This is where it pools. This is the source. Perhaps I should perform the rite of River's Grace. And Mark will pretty much get his backpack off and prep himself for the rite of River's Grace, which I think is a seasonal one.
Yes.
So I will begin to perform the dance that of Wyrm-Herder.
As you perform the rite, the spirit arrives. As you see it crash through the ice.
You have honored me, guard.
Thank you, Reverend Spirit. I do apologize that not one of older brother performed this rite, but I am a friend of older brother.
We will alert you if any come crossing this way.
Of course. But I have some questions, if the Reverend Spirit has time for it.
Speak them quickly.
Of course, for I'm sure the crystals, they sting. My Sept and Cairn that I have allied myself with, not of my own, that is a far distant land, but the one that I have grown accustomed to, is in danger. Many things are happening in the physical. Spiritually, though, I feel it has gone neglected, and that is why I'm here. I have performed the River's Grace to show you that there are still some that care. But now I must ask you, what else must I do to ensure a healthy Cairn and Sept?
You must understand that our bonds go deep with the tribe who called this place home. We had made many pacts with them, and their pacts made us strong. You must understand that our pain is not about you. Our pain is their absence.
As a mother misses her child, I'd imagine. Of course, this makes sense. And Mark will kind of jilt a little bit in realization.
It is as if the flower lacks the butterfly. Both need the other to flourish.
This is wisdom that I needed. Thank you, spirits. The tenders of the land that I fight for, rather speak for now, they're not the right tenders. This makes sense. Thank you, Reverend Spirit. I won't take any more of your time. Sleep well and may you stay warm.
The spirit returns to its lake.
I need to get back to the others, but no, I'll think about that another time.
So, another 2 days pass, as it is now November the 12th. Kyle, you hear a howl of distress.
I will immediately... Oh, well, okay. What kind of distress, I guess?
Pain.
Okay, then, yeah, I will do Glabro, because that's probably faster than Krynos, and head over. I'll spend a rage for it.
Krynos runs faster than... Hispo runs faster than... Hispo runs faster than Krynos, yeah.
Hispo, that's my bad.
Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, you spend a point of rage as you shift to Hispo and you run. You see Steven beaten and bloodied on the edge of the cairn.
What happened? Four Garu came to me, beat the shit out of me, asking about cubs.
I will mother's touch him.
Alright, as you start licking the wounds and they start to heal.
Four fucking bonars came to me friendly like and then sucker punched me. Why the fuck would they do that? Something about this place being corrupt, that no cub should be in a cairn controlled by the dead. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. Just more, for the goddamn rumor, I guess. Yeah, I told him. They got to me. They said that they knew who Veronica was and that they'd rip her to shreds if I didn't talk. Alright, thank you for telling me.
How healthy does he look right now?
Roll your mother's touch. His rage is 7.
Jesus Christ.
He's looking still pretty beat up. About as beat up as before.
But he feels better though, you know? Like, he's like, my buddy Kyle's here.
It was the thought that counts.
Can we just appreciate this imagery that, like, Kyle is, like, licking or crying or rubbing water on him and absolutely nothing is happening?
Well, then I'll let him be. Let him stay here. And I will put out a call for Arcadian Watcher.
Okay.
And
Okay, you call for their pack as they start rushing with you. As you're getting close, and you actually hear the voice of Gabriella screaming, saying, "Get off me!" And you hear also Jacob going, "Cut it out!" As you see 4 Krynos running with them under arm, holding them, hand on throat.
Oh man, this is the time. I'm gonna give him the old razzle-dazzle. Oh my god. I get to use the gift. This is so exciting. One's enough.
One's enough. What's the gift you used?
So, Dazzle, the Garu can flood a target's mind with the glory and love of Gaia, rendering them harmless for the scene. Until they're attacked.
As they stop holding Gabrielle and Jacob, as they turn, they look at you with confused but gentle eyes.
Yeah, so success indicates... Oh, sorry, I should have said this. Success indicates the target sits and quietly contemplates Gaia.
Oh, as they put down the 2 and start contemplating.
Wonderful. Okay. I'll go grab Gabriella and Jacob and make sure they're all right.
Are you okay?
What was that about? They said something about how you let my dad die, that you guys let the Garu of Pueblo die, that it was probably something to do with a dead man controlling them?
Some misinformation got out about something that had happened in the Sept, and they seem to have attributed that misinformation to everything that has happened, even before the man had died. I suppose because they're fucking idiots. But where's Graham?
They hit him, his neck went the wrong way. He shifted into Krynos, and then he grabbed his jaw while he was changing, and he ripped it off and beat him to death with it.
Kyle is going to let out a howl for the Sept to come now. Because now it doesn't matter that this was secret. This is a bigger deal.
First-Wolf, you're the first on the scene, as your name would suggest.
What do you call for, guards the low?
As you see 2 cubs you do not recognize, and 4 Garu that you've never seen here before.
These 4 Garu snuck onto the Sept, beat Steven, killed Graham Wildspeaker, and attempted to take these 2 cubs.
And?
This
is war. This is what I told you. Your cairn is vulnerable. Your Sept is divided, and now they are coming for you. Young one, hear the words that I told you before. All of you will die, or you will surrender. I was the first to come, and my forbearance has kept this place from being seized outright. But look at the war parties that come now, and your friends will die, and you waste days. This is the cost of foolishness and a council that did not lead. This is the disgusting result of democracy and a belief that an alpha wolf, the first wolf, could shed their authority and share it when responsibility and authority is in one. Here's the cost, guards the low, and it will continue. More will die until this place is seized and controlled. Your war is here.
Yes, of course. Let Adrian, Kyle, guards the low, surrender the Sept, as not even close to the highest ranking Garu.
That speaks quite a bit, doesn't it, Kyle? Why are you the only one concerned?
Malcolm arrives.
Wyrm-Herder, tell your lieutenant to seize this place and hold it. It is vulnerable and weak. It is the western portion of this continent that must be controlled. You dawdle and more war parties come. Do you want it or not?
What happened?
A war party. But tell him, guards the low.
These 4 Garu snuck onto Sept grounds, beat Steven, and killed Graham Wildspeaker to take these 2 pups.
Malcolm, please roll Rage. So it is difficulty 4, baby.
Got it.
Or no, your rank, so it'd be difficulty 5 because of your rank. All right, you don't frenzy. You need 5 successes to frenzy as an Athro.
Right. Killed Graham Wildspeaker. And why do these 4 sit here now?
I used a gift on them. They are contemplating their love of Gaia.
Final scales.
Yeah.
What does the litany say of not giving a howl of greeting and of taking the life of another Garu?
Unjustly,
Unjustly.
it reflects poorly.
First-Wolf, if I may presume to ask, would you do us the honor of laying out the litany with your clave and these invaders? I have to attend to something with Fate Dancer this moment.
I will handle this for you, brother, as I know you were close. You need to end this and bring your people back here, or more of this will happen, and it will not be worth the loss.
Thank you, First-Wolf. And Malcolm is going to head back to the cairn immediately.
Alright, as you do that, you see First-Wolf bring up his clave as he stabs it in the heart of the first invader, rips it out, slices the head off of the next, stabs it, and tears it through, slicing them all down with rage and fury. Kyle, would you like to accompany Malcolm to Fate Dancer?
Yes.
As you head there, you see Fate Dancer turn to look at Malcolm. What was the call? I heard a howl. I was on my way.
For Brother Garu felt the need to sneak into the Sept. There was no one to watch the borders.
Did we drive them off?
They're dealt with. They killed Graham,
What?
and he's been doled out. Time to end this Fate Dancer. We keep putting it off, or talking about details.
Yes.
Will you?
We are. I know what you will ask of me, Malcolm.
We have an overabundance of Garu here, and tensions keep running high. If the Sept is surrendered, we can get the word out, so nothing like this happens.
Very well. As she lifts her head and she bares her throat to you, I offer the honorable surrender.
So Malcolm built himself up to it, Trinos, and just places jaw around her, like teeth pressuring the skin, but trying not to break it.
And she closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and nods.
Malcolm works his jaw. He shifts back down. Good. Send the word out. You
Kyle.
cannot rule the stand.
Kyle, you will also work with the gatekeeper. Any guest Garu will go through that. You two. You are honorary in the place. Tell them that the sacred stone now belongs to older brother. Others are welcome, but our ways take precedent.
Of course, Fate Dancer.
Meanwhile, in the city, you guys not knowing what the fuck is happening back home. It is November the 16th. Mark has returned, and Veronica's approaching Dimitri. Dim. Hey, Dim, as she's shaking you in the alleyway as you're trying to get some sleep.
Yeah, hey.
You got a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Some guys who showed me badges. I guess they're federal agents. They told me that Kirby went missing. Do you think Nicholas got them?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Nicholas. Did Kirby tell you anything about them?
Kirby mentioned that Nicholas could be pretty ruthless. That Nicholas was always calm, but if something didn't go his way, I'm afraid Kirby got killed for trying to save me. I guess Kirby had 3 roommates. People, since you know what Kirby is, I'm gonna say is, just in case they're still around. That they're friends of Kirby. They protected those roommates during the 80s, during the Reagan era. Kirby was up in Denver as kind of a protector of the LGBT community. That they did everything they could to try and save people from police stuff, and so they've been friends with him. They've been friends with them for years, and that Kirby has the power to make people not age, but it requires him feeding them blood, and Kirby said that they didn't want to do that because it forces emotions on them. And so Kirby always refused. They just stayed around and they gladly accepted the basement aid, but now Kirby's gone.
Did the federal agents tell you anything else?
I guess two things, and that's what made me think of you. As she wipes her eyes, taking a few deep breaths. They said, the roommate said that a dog showed up, and then that everything got blurry. And I know that Nicholas's kind, I guess, could turn into animals. And so it could have been him, but they said it was during the day, so that doesn't make any sense. And then the feds also said that this might be related to a terrorist incident. I guess a bomb went off at Impoverished Dick's, killed just a bunch of people. They're trying to look into it.
I don't know, Veronica. I remember you saying that there were federal agents looking for Kirby, so they might suspect you have some kind of connection with them, and are...
Well, me and Kirby have been seen around. They said that I was the last known person outside of their roommate to see them alive.
I'm gonna pull Veronica into like a really snug hug, and I promise I'll find Kirby. I'll find out what happened to them.
You fucking monster!
Yeah, you guys are just a terrible group of fucking people. That's why you got exiled. That's why all you fuckers got exiled. You monsters.
Okay.
Dragging Mark down with you.
Hang on. Veronica just did an intelligence check.
I appreciate that, Sean. I appreciate that. Thank you.
As she's held into, she feels your pulse, the differences, the clamminess of your skin.
Oh no.
As she pushes away and she goes, Dimitri, during the day, can look like a dog.
Veronica, I'm sorry.
You're sorry? After them coming to save me? The fact that all those things I told you they did? Everything? The fact that you knew that they were my friend? You're fucking sorry? You're a fucking monster, Dimitri. Don't ever come near me again. I don't want any of my other friends to die. Roll rage, please. This is emotionally triggering. It is difficulty. It is difficulty 5. You need 4 successes. No.
Okay. Oh.
As you watch her walk away, turn the corner, the wind picks up. It'll be a couple hours before everyone gets back. I guess it's time to feel comfortable being alone for a little bit.
Dimitri is gonna crawl into his cardboard box and just feel bad about himself for a while.
That night, you all get back as Dimitri, you need to perform the rite of the cardboard palace.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so it's intelligence survival, diff 6, please. Each success is the number of people who can survive in there comfortably. 2 people. Remember, you can be in lupus form without giving the game away.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right, I'll go into lupus then and cuddle up with Roy for the night. Come on, buddy.
Oh.
Emotional support pack mate. Let's go.
As you all kind of
We
approach,
both need it.
yeah, you all approach. Roy has cleaned himself off in the 2 days since the terrorist attack that's been on everyone's lips. Mark, you've heard that there was a terrorist attack downtown. Cora, you've been just kind of doing your thing, and you don't even need to make an empathy check. You see a dog with tears in its fur around, just like lying down on Roy.
Cora, do you want to take care of this, or?
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Okay, I'll back away.
Cora will sit down next to him like, hey, bud. Roy, what's going on?
It's been a long couple of days. I don't know what's going on with Dimitri. And I'll give him a pat on a stroke along the back. But he's real sad.
You sound
You see the massive scar on his throat.
Can't leave you all alone for 2 seconds. What the hell happened?
Tell that to Nicholas.
Mark's ears will perk up. Nicholas? You had a run-in with Nicholas?
The one and only.
What happened?
We could see what happened. What was spoken?
He wanted to prove to me that I was a monster. More so than him.
We already know we're all monsters. It's not a surprise.
Stop playing into his games. This is twice now that you've had run-in with him.
This time wasn't because I wanted it.
All right.
He cornered me in a bookstore. He's real pissed that his second was killed.
Let him be pissed.
Indeed, this is war. And even though we are exiled, we are Garu. And our litany is that we continue this war, even though.
Well, what are the next steps to taking care of Nicholas then?
Well,
The least we can do is take care of the leeches in the city on the east side, while the Karen deals with war on the west side. Call it our recompense.
We could, perhaps. We could. It's definitely a message I need to get to Gartzlow, though. I don't know if he wants to hear from me. Two-Hearts, what do you think?
I think we need to sway this war in our favor as much as possible. We need to find out who all of his allies and contacts are as much as we can. That way we know exactly who to target once we're able to receive more help.
We do have his name. And with his name, we can hunt him. And Mark will kind of give a smirky look at Roy.
We could find him, yes. But do you think that a leech who has been controlling this city for so many years would be easy for us to take down? Even difficult, like fairly certain it'd be not impossible.
Oh, I'm not suggesting we take him down. Maybe we can just investigate on where he's been. Because most likely, by the time we get the information of where he is, he's already not there. So we can at least trail him and maybe get an idea of who he's dealing with, where he's dealing with them, and maybe try to get a pattern. Well, it's better than nothing, and it does feel like a contribution.
Okay then, Roy, since you're able to track him, I want you and Dimitri to take a day, prepare yourselves, and track him. Don't be seen.
If it is death that you wish of me, then I will do it.
Death? I said don't be seen. Dimitri's being asked to follow a vampire and gather information.
First off, Cora, that's not gonna happen just yet. I don't even know what's going on between the four of us. We've all been on our own. What have you guys been up to that's kept you preoccupied? Dimitri, what about you? How are you feeling? And I'll go ahead and pet him again.
Terrible. Veronica found out about Kirby.
It was bound to happen.
Maybe it was.
What?
You did the right thing. Regardless of her relationship with the Leech, you did the right thing in killing them.
She was the last connection I had with my old Sept, and I destroyed it.
Dimitri, she will always be family to you. She is not lost. She has been misguided. It's taking me forever, possibly multiple lives, to finally come to the conclusion that family is what you make of it, and that they will come and go, and they're not permanent. I understand your pain and your plight, but please know that she's not gone. And Cora, do not speak so easily about the choices that we make. Yes, he was worm-tainted, and he did have to be dealt with. But that does not mean that it is an easy decision.
None of what we do is an easy decision. As Mark interjects.
All that to Cora.
Tell that to all of us. We're all suffering from hard decisions right now. I think we're all just tired and hungry. Here, I think I got something left in my pack. And I'll just start handing out stuff. We all know we want to redeem ourselves somehow. Whether it's tying up our own loose ends or trying to do something for the Set and Cairn that has turned their back on us for the moment. Right now, focusing on something that we know what to do, as Garu, I think might help us. Will help the Sept, will help the Cairn. So instead of tossing blame, maybe we should figure what we did. I certainly know that. I have said things in the heat of passion and rage, but we still have practically a month. I'm willing to take them back and look inward if we're all willing to take back some words and look inward too.
I'll agree with that.
All right. Two-Hearts?
Fine. I will look inwards.
I mean this not mockingly, but I'm sure it's an easy text for you Two-Hearts. Howls-In-Memory. We all have secrets. We all have things that have been brought out. We're all paying for it right now. But we can at least suffer together. And I'll scritch him behind the ear.
Yes, I know. I need a little time. I will look inward. And I wag my tail.
Mark will smile, and he'll kind of stand back up from his kneeling position. Well, stand up, we're in a cardboard box. Like...
No, my box!
My box! He'll kind of ruffle around and go, Good. I'm happy you all see this way. But I need to go deliver a message now. I think there's something that I need to do, whether it's something I want to do it or not.
Okay, it is the next day, because that's about how long it takes to get to Garden of the Gods. After this whole moment, since it was nighttime before, Mark, as you get close to the edge of the cairn, and you do give out a howl for Kyle guards below. Kyle, you hear the voice of your packmate near Sept's grounds.
Kyle will stare at the ground for like 30 seconds before he makes the decision to get up and go out to it.
After about waiting there, Mark, for about 20-30 minutes, Kyle finally arrives.
Mark will just wave his hand and give a glyph of greeting. Guards the low.
What do you need of me, Guides the Fallen?
I need nothing of you but to listen. I have information pertinent to the spiritual well-being of the Cairn and Sept. I have spoken with the source spirit of the river that feeds this Cairn and Sept. He has told me that the spirits in the spiritual scape of the Cairn and Sept suffer because the Uktena and older brother do not have claim for it. The children of Gaia are not the proper tenders of this land, and the land suffers because of it. I do not speak this of opinion, but I am but a messenger. A pseudo-silent strider, if you will. Take this information as you will, but this is the information that I have.
Worry not, Guides the Fallen. Your problem has already been dealt with, as the Sept is now in Uktena hands. The Sept is surrendered to invaders. Other than the Uktena will still be welcome here, but it is their home and their rituals and their rites that will be followed.
So is the way. You call them invaders, but from what I see them as reclaimers now.
If only we could all live with our mistakes in that fashion. Some of us cannot. Graham Wildspeaker is dead for your actions. Other invaders. My den father, Cora's, if she remembers him. Perhaps still yet more will die for the mistakes made. But fear not. Yes, the Sept, the Cairn will be healthy due to the Reclaimers. Thank you for caring so much about this Sept, Guides the Fallen.
It's low, and I make my way.
Yeah, Kyle will turn around. And
yeah, like I guess we both turn around. Yeah, like.
November the 22nd. There is a howl on the eastern edge of the cairn, so loud, even you all in your cardboard palace hear it. It is a declaration of one who wishes to speak with the rulers of the cairn so Gaia may judge them. As you hear the words, Tatiana guts the weak, Hamid Arun of the Get of Fenris. Kyle, Malcolm, First-Wolf, you are all together when you hear this great howl rip through the cairn.
This is the price you pay for taking your time. She is a force. She is winter incarnate, sweeping over this plain. She is a wave of death. If there is a chosen of Fenris that I have heard of, it is her. You'll enjoy it. She believes in the old ways, and mercy doesn't rank very high on that list. I suggest you grab your leaders and go meet her. Your pack will be here for you, Wyrm-Herder.
Thank you, First-Wolf.
Fate Dancer calls out and goes, "All Adrian and above, greet the visitors." You get to the edge. There are about 15 Get of Fenris standing there, with the first at the helm, blonde in a tightly weaved braid, strong, stout. She stands there with a great silver hammer upon her back, her eyes cold as winter, her face carved from ivory and ice as she looks you over. And she looks over at Brian and goes, "First-Wolf, you are not the Silver Fang I have business with."
Indeed I am not. That Silver Fang is gone from this place. Those of older brother command here now.
Oh, so the corrupt ones have been dealt with.
I will let the elders here speak to that.
Fate Dancer steps forward as you see death upon her face. "I see you've let the corruption stay. Leave it to a lesser tribe not to cut the cancer from its breast."
Fate Dancer had no part in the corruption.
Then she is blind. A leader that is blind is worthless. Do not let thy people tend to thy sickness.
As we take control of the Sept for older brother, I didn't think it wise to do away with an elder who knows it.
Knows it, and does nothing to protect it. Tell me, when this Silver Fang and this child of Gaia returns, what will happen?
Death.
Good. Then her too. The Get of Fenris demand the death of all of the former elders here, and then bring in philodoxes from every tribe. Let us divide the wolves from the dogs, and put down the dogs.
Weak. You came here to make demands after we've settled the matter? If you wish justice done for Gaia, go chase Howling King.
I doubt Howling King knows this place has been taken. I expect Howling King to return. If he does not, I will kill him. But I still see that there, a clot in the vein of your Karens that will cause the whole thing to stop. The heart of Gaia will stop beating, and her blood will pool into darkness. If you are too much of a coward to take care of her, let me do it. Some of us still have conviction.
A dancer gave the honorable surrender.
The honorable surrender means nothing to those who have fallen to the worm, or at least are foolish enough to let the worm dance upon the graves of their forebears.
There's no worm taint here. It has walked out of the Sept. As I said, you can go chase it, if you're so impatient.
I say, every elder who ruled here when the second Veil Walker, the Draught, took their minds and let it happen, should be cast down, and great renown should be given to the ones who revealed this secret to the nation.
And what you say goes in every Sept you go to?
All that are smart.
Even if you haven't confirmed the rumors you've heard?
I know enough. The fact that this Sept already fell makes me think that there was at least truth to the rumors. Who is this who is so low in station to speak to me?
One of the ones who you say should be celebrated for breaking the secret to the nation. Am I wrong, Kyle? That's right. There was a punishment ritual when I got here.
I am Kyle, guards the low, Adrian of the Children of Gaia. It is an honor to meet you.
She stares on icily, waiting for the next line.
It was not just Howling King who could be possessed. It was anyone. This is the fault of the information that was passed on to the Silent Strider, who delivered it honorably.
You reveal much, Kyle guards the low. Much more than I think you mean to. Yes, that makes sense. Any Garu weak-willed enough to let a spirit of the dead wriggle into their souls. That confirms my plan, then, Malcolm, does it not? Bring in the Philodox. We will determine who has strong will and who is weak. Too long have we coddled pups because there are not enough for the end. If these are the pups we raise to reach the lofty goals of Adrian, Fostern, and even Athro, then they should be put to the clave, put to the hammer, and crushed and the strong stay. Gaia doesn't need weak warriors who can bend to the wills of those who cling to life. She needs strong warriors who reject the worm in their heart and their minds.
The weak ones who would be possessed are gone from here. I said again, we've dealt with the corruption.
Fate Dancer is still there.
Fate Dancer's not corrupt.
She let
Fate Dancer
corruption
was
come.
not possessed.
But she knew of the possession, and she led a possessed Garu onto her council with her for the chance of power. Fate Dancer sounds more like a cowardly Shadow Lord than she does one of the lofty brothers of Uktena. I'm surprised that the spirits do not turn their backs on her.
Fate Dancer, you knew of it?
I knew of it. They said it was dealt with, and Howling King was a friend. Friendship means nothing in the war against the worm. See? Weakness. Wyrm-Herder, you let it fester in your own tribe.
She says is true, Fate Dancer. Cannot tend to thy sickness.
But you did give the honorable surrender, so I propose a chance to reclaim your honor. The hunt. Malcolm, will you show us your strength? Will you officiate? Me and my pack would gladly go running. But if you wish to leave this to older brother, then we will step aside. But we will act if we see weakness.
Sure you gladly would. Fate Dancer?
I wish for a trial first, for the spirits to judge me. For I thought I was in the right, but if I was in the wrong, I wish for the spirits to say it so no other Garu makes the same fatal mistake I have. That is my request.
If you are judged guilty, do you wish to go at the hands of a Garu or the hands of our enemies, serving Gaia?
My blood and my flesh is of older brother. Let older brother reclaim it.
I'll go with you before the spirits. That's the week. You want to officiate? Will you be satisfied?
I am no Philodox, so I will not officiate. I think we need a neutral party, for despite me this not being my home, I do not deny that battle is on my mind, and the rage burns hot, Malcolm. It burns very hot. The snow melts around me. No, we will do this properly. Send out a howl. Any tribe with a Philodox from a Karen that you trust to officiate this neutrally will be acceptable. Fate Dancer must stay on Karen grounds and be under watch, of course. She will be an Omega Wolf to the entire Sept until judgment is rendered. Is this acceptable?
It is.
Good. Is there room for some more? I see so many new faces. Faces from Karens I have visited before and have fought alongside in the depths of the Umbra. But I know this isn't their home. So tell me, is there room for some more?
Perhaps your pack, but your army might have to find accommodation in the city.
Very well. Very wise, Wyrm-Herder. A test passed. You are as wise as they say and as I remember.
I'm usually cautious. I don't need Hagraven present to make me that way.
Very well. My pack will sit and enjoy ourselves as she turns and looks at the rest. Find a place to rest. Be on my beck and call, lest the hammer find you. It is now November the 24th. You guys hear someone speak to you as you sleep in your cardboard palace. Wake up. It is morning.
Cora will open her eyes and look around, see who's speaking to him.
In the physical realm, you see Carson faces the storm, kneeling down and looking in your cardboard box. In the flesh, with a battle scar, where the clave struck him.
Roy will stir.
Fuck.
And then see Carson standing at the cardboard box. I'm assuming all four of us are in it, or...
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
This might bite me in the ass asking this question. Would the sight of him warrant a rage roll from Cora?
I don't know. How passionate does she feel about this?
I mean, she's pretty upset. Like, she's pretty pissed off that, like, he didn't die.
Okay. Then yeah, roll rage diff 8 because you're Adrian. No frenzy.
Okay.
Carson, you dare show your face?
That is a strange reaction to one you thought dead.
Thought. Rumor had it that you were going north, and you show up here? After all the trouble you caused?
I came back here because I awoke at the Sept of the Winterfang. So many dead around me. My body ragged and in pain, but alive. It is good to see that you closed it, and that the mission was successful. And I apologize that I did not see it through to the end. But then I hear rumors of my death, and rumors of me as a ghost. And so, I wish to clear that up, and seeing you all here, well, perhaps I can provide redemption. I have traveled the spirit worlds for several days trying to get to the bottom of it, and I wish to present this and save the Sept of the Sacred Stone.
But we saw you.
You saw something different. When I was killed in that when I was taken down in that terrible place and everyone thought I was dead, a Bane spirit was knocked into the dark umbra and took my form. It masqueraded as me, as a ghost, and tried to sow discord throughout the cairn. I heard you took care of it, as I had no way to pierce the second veil.
We certainly did witness him go beyond. And as we were explained, the chances of coming back from that, beyond impossible. But, out of character, does anybody sense Wyrm?
I was trying to do that, so it's a higher diff. What's the diff?
It is going to be diff 9.
And I can't use willpower on gifts.
Correct.
Fuck.
Can I give you my mulligan?
I think you
I
still
haven't
have
used my mulligan yet.
Oh, okay.
I guess I should probably do that.
I think whoever has the truth gifts is not here.
Correct.
Wow, okay.
You get... It's a faint smell of the worm. It's distant. It's almost like it's miles away from him. It's an odd sensation. It's not quite what you'd expect. It's as if the spiritual is being bent and controlled, shaped. But the worm is being shaped away from Carson, at least in this case.
Alright, my mind is racing with what it could be. I do not trust this stench of yours, Carson.
Then trust my actions.
I don't trust the actions that I've seen in the past. And if I cannot trust your word, then I cannot trust the actions that you bring with it.
I ask you to trust...
Why is it that you are here?
To stop a war.
Then why didn't you go to the cairn directly?
The spirits told me that you had been cast out, and I wish to see. I don't wish to leave comrades behind who fought with me through the depths of a hellhole in a hive to the squalor of poverty and mediocrity. Only one of you is a bone gnar. You deserve better.
All the same to you. I'd like to perform a rite of cleansing. Not here, somewhere else.
Perform away. So he lets you take him wherever you're gonna perform your rite. You perform the cleansing.
Okay.
The rite goes off, and he goes, "Now, if you don't mind, I do plan on going to the cairn now."
I'm sure we'd all happily join you, but at the moment we are in the midst of our punishment.
I will do what I can to get that overturned. It's unfair to you, whatever it was. I know you as great and honorable Garu. And you are, I apologize as he points to Dimitri.
I am Dimitri Howls-In-Memory.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Dimitri Howls-In-Memory. As he stands up and heads away.
Mark will turn to Roy. Do you still have that and tap on his ear thing?
Kyle can't talk to him.
I'll take it off and give it to Mark so that way he can then attune it to himself. You can use this more than I can.
Roll notices to attune to the spirit.
Okay.
It's difficulty 5 because of the distance.
Okay.
You are able to connect with Kyle.
Art's low. This is Guides the Fallen.
I have to roll as well, yes?
To answer, yeah. Diff 5. You're able to answer.
What can I do for you, Guides the Fallen?
I know I burden you with the second communication at such short time in my right, but I have important information that needs to get to you, needs to get to the Cairn and Sept immediately. We have seen Faces the Storm in the flesh. He tracked us into the city and found us. We discussed with him. We tried our best to figure out if he was a fake or not, but he was convincing. He says he is coming. He is coming with information that will save the Cairn from a war. Save the Sept.
Thank you for this. I do not know what to make of it.
I do not know either. Please do know I still work for the Cairn and Sept, even in my punishment. This is not out of pride. This is out of duty.
Of course.
Farewell, Garcelo. I hope to see you soon, and I hope to see you in better times. Gaia guide you, and may Unicorn guide your steps.
You as well, Guides the Fallen.
And Mark will just kind of sigh heavily. I gave him the information. They know now, but I don't know what we should do.
Not much that can be done. So we go over to the Cairn. It's been several hours later. Kyle, did you inform anyone?
Definitely Wyrm-Herder, because I have no fucking clue what to do about this, and telling Fate Dancer, I don't know what that would even mean at this point.
Okay, so you inform Wyrm-Herder. Wyrm-Herder, can I get an intelligence occult real quick? Difficulty 9, you need a minimum of 2 successes. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Malcolm, in the deep recesses of your mind, when you've spoken to spirits, not just the normal Gaian spirits, but spirits beyond, spirits of darkness, spirits that crawl close to the edge of understanding, and wildlings even. But more importantly, you have heard tale and have spoken to on rare occasions of a certain spirit that is rare and rarely leaves the High Umbra. Paradox spirits. And that the one thing you think that could have happened, a magi, a namer, got involved and returned Carson Faces the Storm to this mortal coil with a body.
This is troubling news. Guards the Low, there's a chance that Faces the Storm's spirit got in contact with a namer, and the namer used magic to bring him back. I don't know how that works, but it breaks the cycle of life and death. More weaver than worm, but...
If he is coming here to stop the war that is upon us, I don't believe that Fate Dancer will be found guilty.
You mean?
But what of any of this in her trial? I don't believe she'll be found guilty, but if whatever Carson has to say puts this matter to rest, is it better to just believe that he had never died?
If he died, he died. We have to set that right. He
was fucking dead. Kyle isn't sure of most things, but like he's not the spiritual one, really. But he was pretty fucking sure of this.
My own 2 eyes.
You were there when he died, Garzolo?
Yes. There was no scent of the worm on the spirit that we encountered, and we put his body to rest. We were there, the rites were performed. If there is anyone I am sure is dead, it should be Carson.
Then you will bear witness. Your pack, I don't think, can bear witness, but if Carson's coming here himself, then, well, we'll have to see what he says. I don't want him to speak and tell lies that are damaging, but if it can clear Fate Dancer's name, I'm not sure that'll be good enough for Guts the Weak.
No.
She might still seek some form of judgment.
She might. But if Carson's words can't put her mind to rest, if he convinces her that he is alive when we know that he is not, I would say that would show the same weakness in her that she sees in Fate Dancer.
Intriguing. You're very cunning, Kyle.
I've got nothing else right now.
As a couple hours pass, and you hear the howl, Carson, Faces the Storm, Elder, of the Silver Fangs, and there are growls and howls of confusion all around as he approaches, glaive strapped to his back, his hands out. As you arrive, Kyle, Malcolm, First-Wolf, and Tatiana all arrive. As Carson's eyes widen, he goes, well, if I may say, Tatiana, sister of death. Only to the ignorant. Death has no sister. She has an avatar. Charming. I have returned. Wyrm-Herder? First-Wolf.
Faces the storm, youth. There are many warriors clanging claw over your name.
My name.
And your death. But here you are.
As cliche as it is, the rumors of my death seem to have been exponentially exaggerated.
Only leads to a better story.
I suppose so.
Rhea.
I remember only a few things. Fighting, a spiral attacking with a Bane clave, the bite, the fury. I fought, and then found myself in the lands of my ancestors, before returning and finding myself in a desolate wasteland, bodies burned and put to rest, mine spared, with a great scar upon my chest. I suppose that my body was missed. As everyone's looking, as you hear the murmurs, Kyle, Malcolm, Brian, please roll perception, alertness, diff 9, please.
During all of this, I would like to activate my Earring of Truth, just as a...
Okay. Roll Gnosis. Difficulty of the earring. Of the Gnosis rating on the earring. Okay. The earring turns on. You guys, Malcolm, and you notice that Tatiana gets a kind of a smirk. As each time someone gives an exclamation about how much they can't believe Carson is still alive, it flashes for an instant. It's almost nanoseconds. But somewhere randomly on his body, a bruise starts to form before he regenerates it away. Once I returned, I started looking. Started fighting Banes again. I found my clave and started to march. I decided I'd go back to my ancestral cairn when I heard about all the trouble happening here. It took some time and some fighting, but I suspect what happened was that a Bane took my form due to the corruption of the place that I was incapacitated in, and that Bane was pressed into the dark umbra. With the spiritual strength of the closing of the cairn, the multiple veils between physical umbra and dark umbra were weakened, you see. And I believe this Bane was pushed back to try and create problems. I think it clung to Fomori's Bane and waited for a moment to strike. Now, as you all know, my third nephew, Howling King, had a reputation for lacking any sort of political ambition. It seems that it came true. And this Bane, pretending to be myself, made it seem that Howling King was being possessed, not that Howling King simply had ambition, and that Howling King was driving for his own spot on the council so that he could take his rightful place as ruler. Kyle, your earring goes off when he talks about the Bane being pushed into the Dark Umbra and Howling King doing this all on his own.
Kyle will stay quiet for now.
So, oh, yes.
Does Malcolm know any stories of Bane's overpowering Garu and possessing him?
It's you have, but it has only happened in the Penumbra, and it has only happened to Garu who became Fomori, a specific kind of Fomori called the Skinwalkers, where their flesh came alive and seeped off the bones and crawled as a Fomori that every time it was torn, a new Fomori Garu was formed during the days of the Storm Eater.
It's difficult to believe a Skinwalker would move amongst us so easily.
Oh, not a Skinwalker. No, I'm sorry, I misspeak. I'm saying that Howling King had political ambitions to take over this cairn, and that a Bane taking the form of a Garu, not possessing a Garu, simply mocking the shape, as spirits are as very malleable as I'm sure a third of older brother would surely know, and that it simply played into the illusion of Howling King having ambitions, or Howling King's hiding of his ambitions.
You came by all this evidence on your own? After only remembering the combat, the bite of the throat?
The bite of the Bane clave, to be sure. But yes, I needed to find out what happened. I decided to simply go hunting spirits and return home. But I started hearing word about ripples happening at the Sacred Stone, something about ghosts. And then I finally came across a Silence Strider while I was in Wyoming on my way to Vancouver, when I heard that the Sacred Stone's Council of Elders had a ghost-ridden Garu among them, and that piqued my curiosity, and that my death drove the entire thing, and that I had possessed a Garu to drive it into the hands of the worm. And, well, it's not every day that one finds out that they not only died, but they were responsible for the destruction of a cairn that one had not been to for several months. Did the Bane clave do any more damage to you, Brother Carson? Speaks up Tatiana. It seems that you bruise easily, though your regeneration is quite powerful. Oh, likely the body's still recovering from the tainted silver that pierced my body. As she looks coldly. Clearly.
You mentioned, Kanareya, that you awoke and all the Garu had passed on around you. How do you know the rite of passing had been performed?
I saw the marks upon their body. The ashes, the pyre flames, the glyphs carved into the burnt wood. I am not so far removed from our rituals and our ways, Brother Malcolm, that I would lose sight of it.
It strikes me as odd that you would be left, as if napping.
Me as well. I was hoping I could get answers as he looks at Kyle.
Oh, I'd be happy to give answers. Faces the storm, Rhea.
Tatiana speaks up, and she goes, Well, rejoice! An elder of the Garu has returned. But, I'm sure you can regale us with tales later. Please, let us get some rest. My dear friend Wyrm-Herder, First-Wolf, and you, as she looks over at Kyle, may I have a word with you? It seems much has to be discussed, and I would love to speak of it in the open airs before great Golden Eagle and the cold winds of this place.
This sounds amenable to me. And Wyrm-Herder grins at Tatiana and then at Kyle and kind of jerks his head.
But we will find out what she wants to talk about next time. Thank you to everyone who listened. We will all catch you in that next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.